But we're just gonna do a Q&A video for Hannah's channel. There are so many good questions that we thought we should do one for my channel as well.
Let's do it.
This is my sister, by the way. If you don't know who she is, then you're missing out on life, because she's pretty amazing. Who is older? What is your favorite memory together? And what have you learned from one another? And that's too many questions.
Ellen is older.
I'm older by 14 months old. My mom remembers holding 5-month-old me and holding a pregnancy test and crying because she definitely did not intend on having Hannah so soon.
Really close together, can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I always thought I wanted my kids super close together because like we were so close, because we were so close in age. We grew up being like best friends, like we argued all the time, but we like are so close. I just always wanted kids close together because I thought we had such a special bond. And yeah. But then I had my first child and I was like, hell no, I'm gonna like space it out a little bit for my own sanity. Your favorite memory together. So this isn't like when we were little, but when we were in junior high, every day when we got home from school, we would come home and eat poppy seed muffins from Costco and pickles and watch Batman Beyond because we didn't have cable. My mom didn't give us cable. The main things we watched was Batman Beyond and I Love Lucy.
But I have another memory of us. Our grandpa, when he would come to visit, he would play crab with us, and it's basically hide and seek, except he was a crab, so you know.
And so it was like in our old house, in our first house growing up, we had a laundry chute from the second floor to the first floor, and we'd actually go down the laundry chute. What do you admire about one another? I admire how stinking creative Hannah is. She is so creative and she's inventive.
I admire that like when you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. Like it doesn't matter what anyone says, like you are dedicated to something. You're so committed and loyal.
I like that. Thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome. Tenacity.
What is something really funny and embarrassing that's happened to you?
I was like 15 and my friend had like a boy over and then his friend came over to hang out with me, and so we were hanging out watching TV, and then the guy like kind of went like this, like he wanted to hold my hand. I had never held a boy's hand before, so I just froze, and he was like kind of like, you know, you're supposed to respond, and then he just was like like he thought like, because I was just dead, I was like so then he was like this, and then he just like was caressing my hand. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. The bathroom, and I was like, oh God, Hannah, what are you doing? It was so embarrassing.
My most embarrassing moment was in elementary school when we were all in, I don't remember what class, auditorium type thing, and someone pulled down my pants. It was this girl who used to make fun of me all the time, and she pulled down my pants in front of everybody, in front of like so many people, like 100 people. Yeah, I ran out crying. It's my most embarrassing moment.
Ellen was picked on a lot as a kid.
Does Elvis ever, or does he ever challenge you or frustrate you to the point at all that you need to walk away before you act in a way that you shouldn't? So firstly, go check out my sister's podcast. We just recorded a gentle parenting episode with my sister-in-law on her podcast, and it's all about tips like that, encouraging ways to help foster a gentle but proactive approach with your children on how to create and raise up like healthy and emotionally stable children. To answer your question specifically, yes, I definitely have those moments where I find myself getting overly frustrated and I want to lash out, you know, like we're all humans. So what I do is a good way is to say, you know, mommy needs some space, mommy needs a breather, I'll be right back. And I just go and take a moment to myself. I close the door, take 3 deep breaths, remind yourself that you are safe. This is not an emergency. He is safe. This is not an emergency. How can we communicate well together to where we are working through this, whatever the problem is? Then you can collect yourself so that you can respond in a calm but firm manner and help go back to your child and say, okay, thank you for giving me that space. I just needed a moment to collect myself. Now let's work through this. And then you can talk to them calmly. There are natural consequences for things, but you don't need to make it punishment. So let's say the topic is, okay, your child is taking his baseballs and he's throwing them all over the house, and he's like, you know, he could very easily like break a lamp or that type of thing. So you ask him once and he doesn't listen. Maybe you ask twice and he's still not listening. So then you start to feel frustrated, like, oh, why is he not listening? Instead of just saying, you get that taken away, you're bad, or this is wrong, you should not have that happen, and then you just take it away and act angry. What you could do is instead is get down on their level, look him in the eye and say, I see you really are having fun throwing these baseballs, but we're not allowed to throw baseballs in the house. That's against the rules because we can break something and we need to take good care of our things. So then you can explain that as the first chance and give him another chance, and if he does it again, then you say, okay, well you're having a hard time listening, so we're gonna take the ball away for now and we'll try again tomorrow. Like, it's a natural consequence to his actions because he's not listening, but it doesn't need to be like a shaming way because he's a child, he's an unpracticed human, and we're all in this together learning. So that's just an example.
So my friend Evan and I have a podcast called Earth to Us, and I'll put, or Ellen will put the link below in iTunes. Just search Earth to Us.
Yeah, okay. And it takes consistency. It doesn't just work, you know, easy overnight. You know, it just takes consistency, but over time he'll understand that this is how you communicate with him, and he'll respect you for that. He will respect you for that, and he will be more likely to listen to you because you're respecting him through his choices as well. What kind of baby names do you like, and what are the meanings behind Elvis and Sandy's name? So Andrew's dad wanted to name his son, my husband, Elvis, but his mom didn't want that, so they ended up naming him Andrew. So his dad has always been an Elvis Presley fan. Andrew grew up listening to Elvis Presley music, and then when we got together in high school, Andrew kind of like got me into it as well. We would listen to Elvis Presley music just throughout our relationship and in college and stuff. I walked down the aisle at our wedding to an Elvis Presley song, Can't Help Falling in Love. That's pretty much it. I've always really liked unique names that's not very common. And then for Sandy, man, we just could not think of another baby name. Like, we just like could not agree.
Boys' names are harder than girls' names.
Boys' names are definitely harder. Like, if we had like 3 girls, it'd be like easy peasy, we know what we would do our kid. But like for boys' names, we just like really struggle to disagree, because he likes really traditional names. Like, for the most part, he likes like Walter and like Bob. Maybe not Bob, but he likes like really traditional names, and I like more unique, like less common names.
That's like how it normally is. Like,
yeah, I was super pregnant and we still hadn't come up with a name, and then I was like, okay, what about this name? What about this name? What about this one? And then eventually I said Sandy, and he was like, oh yeah, I like Sandy, like, you know, like Sandy Koufax, the famous Dodger baseball player. If you don't care about the Dodgers,
or
then it
Sandy
means nothing
Cohen from the OC, you know.
I never saw that show.
Yeah, me neither.
And what's your favorite?
Okay, so Eric and I, my husband and I, definitely disagree about baby names. So this probably will not happen. If we do have kids, we probably won't get these names. But my favorite all-time girl's name is Cosmo.
Love that name. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
But now everyone's gonna use that name.
I really like the name Loris for a boy. Isn't that cute? Or I even like the name Lauren. Like from Little Women.
Me too. Yes, that's really cute. If you could have personally witnessed any moment in history, which one would you like to have witnessed? For me, that would definitely be so easy for me to pick. Like, I would definitely want to witness the I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King Jr. Like, be there when it really happened. Like, that would be so amazing. I would seriously, like,
that's incredible.
That would definitely be mine.
Okay, I have one, but it's really dumb. I would want to be in the room when J.K. Rowling is writing Sorcerer's Stone. What? Watching her. That's history right there. Any HP fans out there? Is anyone listening?
Okay, favorite movies: Father of the Bride 1 and 2. Duh. And Crazy Stupid Love. That might be cheesy, but I really like that one. It's a good one.
I am not a huge movie person. I love reading more than I love watching movies. I just feel like it kind of anxious when I sit down and watch movies. However, there are so many movies that I've watched like 16 times each. I don't know why. Like, when I'm gonna watch a movie, I'm just gonna watch the same one.
Which one?
Okay, Bring It On. Oh, I can quote. These are like 3 movies I can totally quote.
This is like our high school favorite.
Never Been Kissed. I love that movie. It's just like a quality non-com.
Really
and then She's the Man. Your books. I don't know. I just quote everything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're right though. She's the Man is hilarious.
It's so good.
That was a really good question, by the way.
What's your favorite movie?
How did you stop craving chocolate and chips? Okay, I used to be so obsessed with like eating chocolate after I would have like a salad. This was like years ago when I first got into eating vegan. The first like few years I was eating a high fat raw diet, and I wasn't eating enough carbs, and I wasn't eating enough sugar, like fresh fruit sugar. So after I would eat a salad, I was like still not totally satisfied, even if it was like a big salad and it filled my stomach. My mind wasn't satisfied, and I wanted something sweet, so I would reach for like a piece of chocolate or half a bar of chocolate, and it was vegan chocolate, obviously. Like, what was the other one? Chips. Okay, chips and chocolate is different. Okay, chocolate is like,
you're not getting enough carbs.
Not getting enough carbs, not getting enough. Yeah, if you crave sweets at the end of your meal or at the end of your day, and you eat and you're like, I'm full but I'm still craving something sweet, that's like a pretty good sign most of the time that you just didn't eat enough fruit throughout your day.
It's so true.
And eat enough carbs
or
and
even something like oatmeal with dates and maple syrup. Like, that really satisfies your sweet cravings during the day. And then I don't even want dessert after dinner anymore.
For sure. Like, and part of it is just like making it a habit to not eat dessert afterwards. And like, if every once in a while you want to eat a piece of chocolate, like I was at my friend's house last night with you. Every once in a while, if you have some, like, if you're wanting to have some chocolate or you want to have some other vegan dessert, like, that's great. But if you're not feeling good eating it often, then that's something that you can change, is try eating like more fruit throughout your day, and fruits for breakfast, like larger quantities, more high calorie fruits too, like bananas and dates and mangoes.
Sweet fruits.
Yeah, sweet fruits. So the more fruits you have during the day, then the less likely you're going to crave something sweet at night. And it might sound like super simple, but it's totally true. Chips is something different. Like, chips aren't sweet, so that's not like a signal that you're missing like carbs, but chips that are covered in oil and salt and they're fried, they're not healthy. If you're finding yourself craving chips a lot, or if like you're at a party and there's like chips around, I used to be there. I totally was there. I would like be eating really healthy throughout the whole week, and then I'd go to like a party in college, and there'd be like the chip table with the salsa, and I'd be like, chips, I gotta have the chips, like, because they're so addicting and so good. If you're trying to cut out chips from your diet, or you're trying to like minimize your cravings for them, that is, to me, that was just like consistency of avoiding it, and then over time you stop craving it because it's no longer something you eat, and then the more often you're around it, the less you'll crave it if you don't eat it.
No, it's so true. You only crave what you eat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just about consistency, and it does require some discipline. Like, I think it's a lie if you say like, oh, it's so easy. It's like, in the beginning, it does require some rules and just like containing yourself, but
and this is by no means like people who want to eat chips and they feel good eating chips and they're fine eating chips. That's so great for you.
Yeah.
I just personally don't feel good eating chips.
So bad.
My skin doesn't do as well eating foods like fried foods like chips.
Actually, here's a great alternative. Cut up some corn tortillas and put them in the oven on parchment paper, and bake them for about 15 to 18 minutes at about 400 degrees, and it tastes just as satisfying. I mean, it's not like quite the same. It's not like
quite as like oily and crispy, but
it'll really satisfy you to give you that crunch, and you can eat it with salsa and guacamole.
Yeah. What's the weirdest dream you ever had? One time, I woke up in the middle of the night and I ran to my mom's room. I was like a little kid, and I was like, I had a dream that Darth Vader was in a wheelchair and he was stealing my Beanie Babies.
You know, Beanie Babies, those things are worth $1 million now. I have crazy dreams almost every single night. I have dreams that I'm like, you know, on a space mission. I have really stressful dreams a lot. I've got like, I don't know if you want to put this in there, but I have like sex dreams all the time. But like one of my most memorable ones, because I told it so many times because it was just so freaky, so when I was a kid, I dreamt that I was in a party and everyone fell asleep, and then I heard like a creaking, and then this thing came in. It was Bill Gates's head on a giant pizza cutter with spikes, and he was rolling towards me, and he was like, and he just like killed everyone in the house. It was terrible.
If you could do one thing without consequences, what would it be?
Watch TV all day.
I can do one thing without consequences. I can't think of one.
That's dumb.
After this video, we turned it off, and then I realized what my answer is to that question. I wish that I could stay up late and have no consequences. I wish I could stay up super late, talk with my husband or my sister, stay up all night long, or edit videos as late as I wanted, or edit photos, and that there would be no consequences. But reality is, going to bed early is really good for your health, and I feel so much better when I go to bed early. How do you guys cope with living far away from each other?
FaceTime. You didn't say it with me.
Oh,
FaceTime, like constantly. Pretty much if I'm doing anything, I'll be like, sorry, my sister's calling, and I'll answer.
Yeah, she will drop her,
like,
she will drop whatever she's doing, even if it's super important to like answer the phone and talk to me. Would you ever raise and care for your own chickens to produce eggs to eat?
No. Eggs are really unhealthy.
Would you eat a snake's egg?
Yeah.
Would you eat a
Why
goose
eggs?
egg?
Eggs are so
like,
gross.
why do you want to eat something that comes out of an animal's all-in-one ass vagina? It's called a cloaca for chicken. Nothing in me wants to eat eggs because, for one, they're not healthy, and then for two, the only reason that we desire them is because we've been told to desire them, but we're not told to desire snake eggs. So if there's a reason why when we hear of somebody who eats ostrich eggs that you're gonna be like, ooh, why? Then why do you want to eat a chicken's egg, you know? A lot of times when you get those egg-laying hens, if you get those hens from like a hatchery, they kill all the baby chicks and they throw them in grinders by the thousands and millions every day, just because they have no need for them in the egg industry, because male chicks don't produce eggs. You know, why do we feel the right to take animals away from their parents, you know, just because we think that it's our right, you know? I just don't think it is. And then also, even if it did come from a place where you feel like there was no cruelty involved or no harm involved, still not healthy. So.
Right, exactly. There's no point.
Did y'all fight as a kid when you were younger?
We were vicious. I don't know if you remember, but I have memories of us like pulling each other's hairs out, and like your like nails going into my back.
Yeah,
and
like how did
me.
that happen? Like there'd be times where I'm like, you're wearing my shirt, and I would like push you on the bed.
I was like,
then,
I made Ellen mad.
But then I always got in trouble because Hannah would run into Mom, she pushed me. When really, like, we both had the same equal, but because you're the young one, it was like, oh, Hannah. Ellen, what did you do? Where and what brand is the Belly Grass juice powder I use? I get it from dailygreenboost.com. Another good brand is Vimergy. Hannah gets hers from
Sunburst Superfoods.
Have you ever had a falling out or a monumental fight that changed your relationship forever?
No.
No. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
One time someone told me that or actually a couple times people have told me that I'm really observant, and I don't know why, I just really like that compliment because I am kind of observant.
That I'm smart. I really like that. Last question. Ellen, what's the best part of being a mom?
Giving your sister nephews.
Like I'm fostering like that ability to grow as a person just by being a mom, like opening up and learning and evolving and growing like a flower.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, you are a different person because you are a mom.
Yeah, and like,
it's cool.
But it's not just about me, it's like watching my children grow too, and watching my children learn is what helps me to learn, and it just like brings so much fulfillment to my life. I hope you liked watching this video. I love my sister so much, and I know you love her too. Please go watch her channel because she is hilarious.
Okay, don't build it up too much. It's like
Hannah,
quirky,
you're
funny.
hilarious.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.